something else to feel.
Give me something else to feel. Give me something else to feel. What's wrong with me? I can't feel. What's wrong with me?
Give me something else to feel.
Give me something else to feel. Give me something else to feel.
Give me something else to feel.
Hello, hello, one and all in one. One ring to rule them all. What's up, everybody? Okay, here we go. Before we begin these shenanigans, I do apologize if there's a little bit of reverb or echoing with my mic, because the studio is almost completed. Almost. I just need to soundproof some of it. Okay, with that said, let me read some comments and we'll go from there. Spooky bed hair, suck it. Thank you, Spooky. Can always count on you to degrade me and insult me. Ryan the Presbyterian Hager, I will have some openings soon. Please email me. Ryan, if you are indeed watching this at this very moment, I will definitely hit you up. I actually, really, in all honesty, if you wanted to, we could probably chat tomorrow when I get off work. What's up, Lisa for Truth? Lisa for Lies. Oh, what's up, Gerstrom? Favorite. Absolute favorite. Okay, here we go. Give the link. Hi, girlfriend Gerstreams. Say's little helper. Okay. And then we have Ox. Ladies and gentlemen. Gerbich the Lake. Are you ready to rumble? Or just sit around talking about the same old shit? Probably, yeah, the latter. Oh, and Lisa, I might provide the linkage to get in a little bit. Maybe. Grr. Okay, anyway. Is this a debate? No, it is not a debate. Gerstreams, are you bottom? Hey, I'll take it any way I can get it. Bottom, top, side, watch, you name it. I'll take what I can get. Okay, we're about to watch a video from Capturing Christianity. Woohoo! Doesn't that sound exciting? I've watched some of this video, I think. Yeah, I believe I watched maybe the first, I don't know, 8 minutes. So yeah, we're gonna give it a gander. Okay, share screen. Now I know how Now I know how Speed feels. Every time before he starts the show, he's always like, what am I doing with my life? Fuck this shit. I can relate. Let's see. Is that big? Ooh, now that's big. Okay. Before we begin, let's see. Paul, bottom is the best. Actually, I would agree with that most of the time. Just depends on how I'm feeling. Gur is more of a glory hole kind of guy. No, that's a little too much for me. Capturing bullshit. Yes, Paul. Nice way to put it. Don't get me wrong. I think Cameron Bertuzzi, I think he's an intelligent guy. I think he's one of the, well, this isn't saying a whole lot, one of the better apologists out there, at least on YouTube. But yeah, based on the Benganzi, based on the channel and the title, I'll say it'll be hell in a handbasket. Yeah, probably. Yes. Paul, Cameron is a sexy guy. Too bad he's a Christian. Well, I mean, he's all right, I guess. Like, I'm a straight dude, but if I see the opposite sex or gender or what have you, the same, not the opposite. If I see the same gender as me and they're good looking, I have no problem saying, yeah, that's a good looking dude. For example, take Chris Hemsworth of Thor. I'm straight, but that dude is like godly. Okay, anyway, enough of this. Let me know if you guys can hear the audio. And with that said, here we go.
12 is probably the most important in this list, so you definitely want to stick around till the very end of this video. So don't number 1.
Okay, so far, can everybody hear the audio? This is a brand new setup. This is my brand spanking new computer. You know what? I'll just find it myself. Let me rewind. Okay, yeah, I can hear it. Okay. Let me back this up. Okay.
So you definitely want to stick around till the very end of this video. So don't number 1, don't think too highly of yourself. In psychology, there's this little thing called the Dunning-Kruger effect. You may have heard of it. Basically, people often fail at accurately judging their level of competence. Less competent people tend to think that they're smarter than they actually are, and more competent people tend to think they're dumber than they actually are.
This is true. A lot of people, especially online, think that they're smarter than they actually are, whereas those who actually are smart consider themselves dumb, generally speaking, at least. God, I hope this video gets better. Gur showing off his new shit. Yes, I am. What's up, Richard Range? Audio is good. Someone. Oh, okay. So some of you did answer that. Yeah, okay. I was about to say, Richard, you're the only one who gave me feedback. What's up, Pixie? If this video is boring, because I think, like I said, I watched this maybe yesterday, and I thought there was stuff in here that might be worth, nodding my head to, or just flat out saying, nope, stupid. Okay, anyway. Shut up.
And the point here is just simply to exercise intellectual humility. Don't think too highly of yourself or your abilities. Also, I mean, it's important to not think too lowly of yourself either. Romans 12:3 says, do not think of yourself more highly than you ought, but rather think of yourself with sober judgment.
You know what's funny is I bet you a lot of Christians, at least the internet debating Christian types, I bet you when they read this verse, do not think of yourself more highly than you ought, but rather think of yourself with sober judgment. I would wager that a lot of the Christians on YouTube who constantly evangelize think of themselves very highly and consider it sober judgment. Just saying.
Reading a couple introductory apologetics books doesn't make you an expert in philosophy. It doesn't make you an expert in probability theory, ethics, cosmology, history, or any other sub-discipline.
I would agree, yes. If you're reading apologist books, don't expect to know philosophy that well. Maybe a little bit here and there, depending on what apologist book you're reading, but yeah. Matter of fact, just ditch the apologist book and read a philosophy book or a science book.
And on a related note, exercising intellectual humility can actually help you avoid embarrassment. So not only is this biblically mandated, it's also just very practical.
All right, let's just get to the next point. Here. Ooh, look at that. He's fading in and out of existence. Okay. Just the heads up. This has been an extremely busy week for me. So I am running on fumes and caffeine, which seems to be my default state of mind here lately. So yeah. Anyway, shut up, girl. Get back to it.
So don't number 2, don't shoot from the hip. This should have been number 1. I've seen people make all sorts of weird and unsubstantiated claims when responding to objections. Instead of admitting, you know what, that's a good point, I really need to take that and think about it. Let me get back to you. Instead, a lot of people will just make up an answer. And I made this mistake actually a lot myself when I was sort of just starting out in my apologetics career. If you don't know what extra biblical evidence exists for the martyrdom of early Christians, don't just like blurt out that tons of evidence exists. If you don't know something, be ready to admit it. Bluffing not only damages your credibility, it's also dishonest. 2 Timothy 2:15 says,
okay, so far, I actually agree with Cameron. And I think this goes to both Christian apologist, Islamic apologist, and also outspoken atheists like myself. Like, don't just blurt shit out if you don't have, a good understanding or strong evidence for whatever claim that you're making. So yeah, so far we're in agreement, Mr. Cameron. Okay, let me check the side chat real quick. Okay, so Titan says, I missed a great joke. Let me see. Let me find it. People seldom know as much about Dunning-Kruger as they think they do. Yes, I would agree. Now shut up, Titan Uranus. Watch yourself, bro. I've been saying bro, ironically, and Jesus Christ, it is starting to seep into my daily, dialogue. Just work, girl, and hello. Okay, yeah, I need to stop reading the side chat. Otherwise, you guys are going to get bored. If you're not already bored, here we go.
Do your best to present yourself to God as one approved, a worker who has no need to be ashamed.
I just want Cameron to say something that I disagree with so I can debunk him, bro. You just got debunked. You just got refuted. That's what I would like to do. Maybe we'll watch a different video after this. Just some of Cameron's videos are like hours long. And I don't know about you, but I'm not a fan of
rightly handling the word of truth. I should also note that there's absolutely no good reason to make things up. Uncovering an area of ignorance is actually an opportunity to grow in knowledge. Just think about that and keep that in mind as you're going forward in apologetics. All right, don't number 3. Don't have the last word. All right.
Never mind.
This might sound a little weird, but your idol, the thing that you value more than God, might be having the last word in a conversation. If you find yourself with a strong desire to leave the last comment, to say the last thing in a text thread, I suggest doing some serious introspection.
Okay, I do want to say, I am not that way. I used to be that way where I wanted to have the last word. There's some sort of illusion, or maybe delusion is a better word, where you think, okay, if I say the last word and this person does not respond to me, that means by default, I win the argument, I win the conversation. Debate is over, I win. And that is just simply not the case. So again, hats off to Cameron. I do agree with that. I know I'll put out videos. Oh, actually, wait a second. Hold on. I forget. Oh, yeah. That's right. We're scrolling. Okay, so I forget. God damn it, girl. Yeah, so when it comes to the last word, on my main channel, Gurmania, not Gur Streams, I will put out a video. What the fuck? Get back to it. Okay, anyway, I'll put out a video and somebody will leave a comment disagreeing with whatever I said, and I'll go in and I'll try to elaborate my point a little bit further for clarification. And then they respond and they say something that lets me know the point went right over their head. And by this time, it's so simple to understand. There's just no point for me to keep going. So I simply stop. Because I'm not here on YouTube to debate in comments. I am here on YouTube to put out my thoughts through the format of video. And if you understand it, great. If you don't, then I might try to help you understand it. But if you don't get it by the time I've clarified it in the comment section, then I'm not going to keep going. There's just no freaking way I'm going to keep going. So if you think that if anyone has argued with me in the comments and you see that I stopped responding, you can consider that a win if you want, but I just don't see it that way. Back in the day, especially when I was on Facebook, I would get into arguments all the time, and I was always about getting that last word in. But over the past year, maybe 2 years, my whole approach has really changed. Because again, if I've explained myself and the point still keeps going over your head, then I'll just say, fuck it, and I'll move on. And so, yeah. Anyway.
What is driving that desire? Why do you have to have the last word? Leaving the last comment doesn't necessarily mean that you're right. Ending a conversation is actually like a really uncommon thing to do online. We kind of just want to keep going and going and going and going and going. When atheists or Muslims notice that I've like stopped responding to them on Twitter or social media, I sometimes get accused of incompetence or in some cases dishonesty. And the only reason why I mention this is to highlight the fact that we're pressured in all sorts of ways to leave the last word. Okay. I mean, I get it. I don't want to be accused of incompetence or dishonesty either. I want to defend myself on social media. But what I want you to think about is what is behind that desire? Why do we want so badly to leave the last word or leave the last comment? The more that I think about it, the more I'm convinced that our desire to have the last word is actually rooted in personal insecurities. So this takes me to don't number 4. Don't ignore your insecurity.
Okay, yeah. So with his last point of, again, just because somebody had the last word, it doesn't mean that they won the argument, and it doesn't mean that you lost the argument. It doesn't logically follow that you got the last word in, therefore you're right. So yeah. Okay, before I move along, let me check out the comments. The comments. Look at the comments. What's up, Bond? How you doing today, Bond? Have you earned yourself a wrench yet? Oh, wait, that's an older comment. Let me scroll down. Really need the Bible for that. Oh, the Bible probably is what you're referring to. Spooky bed hair. Hello, my fellow gray friend. Uh-oh, Maynard saves in the house. What's up, Maynard? Maynard, who are you saving exactly? What's up, Randy? Always good to see you, Randy. That's not to say it's not good to see everybody else. I'm just saying. Oh, yeah, I already read that. What's up, Krishna? Oh, wow, I'm really back up in the comments. Hold on. The evidence for the martyrdom of Christians. Well, I'll be honest. I don't know if there's evidence for martyrdom or not, but to me, it's irrelevant because if Christians were martyred like in the Old Testament, obviously there are some modern day martyrs, you know, who have died or been tortured because of their professed faith or whatever. That's, you know, that sucks that people kill other people just because of what they believe. But at the end of the day, it doesn't, just because somebody died for their belief, it doesn't mean that their belief was founded on truth or in reality. Go to bed, curse streams. Jason, how hard is it to understand the Dunning-Kruger curve? You know, I remember looking into the Dunning-Kruger curve relatively recently, as in like maybe the last year. I don't remember much about it, but it was really fascinating. I think the whole idea of the Dunning-Kruger effect started when somebody, and correct me if I'm wrong, side chat, somebody had basically learned that, what is it? Lemon juice, you can write a letter with lemon juice and it makes your wording invisible. So this guy was like, oh, hell yeah. So he covered himself in lemon juice and then went and robbed a bank and smiled at the camera because the whole time he thought he was invisible. And so I think that's when we got the term the Dunning-Kruger effect, because I guess it was Dunn-Kruger or whatever his name, Dunning-Kruger was the one who coined it after discovering this guy trying to rob a bank and failing miserably, yet being so confident and arrogant to think that he was actually invisible. Okay, anyway. Icarus, I'm an expert in Dunning-Kruger. I bet you are, Icarus. Okay, moving along.
Here's a little theory of mine. Online debating is largely the result of unchecked insecurities. Christians, atheists, agnostics, whatever, we're insecure about our beliefs and our intelligence, and thus we engage our peers in debate so that we can be validated and show others kind of how smart we are.
Okay, that could very well be the case for some people, but this does not apply to everyone by any stretch of the imagination. One reason why I think Christian apologists and also outspoken atheists like myself like to engage in conversations, heated dialogues, debates, and whatnot is because deep down inside, I do think we enjoy mental masturbation. Now, that's not the only reason, but I would wager that is one of the top 5 reasons that we like to debate. We like to pet our egos, if you will. And when you can just own somebody with logic and whatnot, it makes you feel good. It doesn't mean that you're insecure. And I would say that is true of Christians as well, even though they're always wrong about everything.
These unchecked insecurities can, if we let them, rule over our thoughts and actions. But defending Christianity shouldn't feel like a competition. Before logging on, make a habit of asking yourself the question, why am I going online to debate today? And if you can't think of a good reason or a good answer to this question, it's probably time to reassess your motivations. Number 5.
You know, the thing with Christians when they engage in debate is, well, if you're a Christian, if you're one of the main theological doctrines of Christianity, then you believe that all non-Christians, give or take their mental capacities, are destined to suffer for all eternity. More reason to go out and debate. Because think about it. If you saw somebody walking down the road and you knew at the end of the road was a raging fire, and that if they go past a certain point, it's the point of no return, so that person will burn forever, or not forever, but will die or will perish, then it would make sense for you to say, hey, try everything you can to stop that person from going down that street, because you want to literally save them from death. So it gives the Christians more reason to go out and debate. Some of them debate, decently. Some of them don't. Now, what I do find to be a flaw are the type of Christians who go out and they're so arrogant, so condescending, and just straight up jerks when they share their faith and they try to tear down atheists. Because there's pretty much 2 different types of Christian debaters. There's a type who want to debate you because they see it end up with you suffering. And so they sincerely care about your well, convince you not to go down that path that you're on. And then there's the other type of Christian debater, which I see largely in the communities I've been involved with, like Darth Dawkins, for example. Darth Dawkins, he doesn't strike me as the type of Christian who cares about the well-being of the atheist, about the eternal destination of the atheist. He strikes me as someone who just wants to win at debates. And he sucks at that too. Like Darth Dawkins is like just garbage Dawkins. Anyway, so yes, if you're trying to convince somebody that there is a fire at the end of the road and you need to turn back, and you're doing it because of that reason, I would say that makes you a good person, even if you're incorrect. But if you're just debating somebody just to beat them up verbally, and you don't even care if they're going to suffer forever or not, that to me is a character flaw. Anyway, and I'm going to read the comments here in just a moment of everyone in the side chat so I can say hello to everyone.
5, don't debate more than you read. So as a general rule, I think we should be not debating. We should be reading twice as much as we're debating. For every hour you spend online debating, you should spend at least 2 hours reading. Spend the majority of your time with credible experts. Learn how respected scholars express and defend their views.
Again, another fair point from Cameron. Don't get me wrong. I don't think for every hour you debate, you need to do at least 2 hours of studying. But I do like the general idea. Now, if you're already very well read on a topic that you debate, then it's whatever. But yeah, anyway.
So here's what I'm not saying. I'm not saying that you should like never debate. But what I am saying is that you should keep the main thing. I can only imagine where I'd be if instead of debating online for countless hours, I used that time wisely and was reading instead, reading good.
You know, one thing that I like about debating people and having conversations with people is I might learn something new. I've watched debates that have changed my mind. It may not have changed my mind on the spot, like during the debate, but it gave me something to consider. I hate to even say this, but the first time me and Danny started getting into dualism, I was unconvinced of it, and I'm still unconvinced. Really opened my mind to, you know, some possibilities, which granted anything's possible. So I guess I should say it did lead me to the conclusion that, okay, maybe there is room for this idea of dualism. I forget what subsect of dualism Danny subscribes to. I don't think it's substance dualism. But anyway, so yeah, and I've even seen, and people might laugh at this, but for real, I have seen memes online that have changed my mind. It was just a little goofy little meme, and I thought, wow, you know what? I've never thought about this topic that way. So that was good for a laugh, but I might have to really look into that. Now, that could just be me because, you know, I'm a brilliant, intelligent, smart young man. At least that's what my mama says. So what my mama says goes.
Philosophy. Here's a question to ask yourself before each comment that you post. Should I continue doing this, or should I read that book I bought literally 2 days ago? Because let's be honest, if you're an apologist, you're in the space, you probably have a book you bought within the last few days, and it's just been sitting on your shelf. You may not even...
I have so many. Well, not so many. I've not read Dr. Josh's book. What is the title of Dr. Josh's book? See, I can't even remember the damn title. Well, I have Dr. Josh's book on my phone. I'm going to order it so I have it in paperback because if I'm going to read, I prefer it to be on paper and not on my little iPhone. But books that are just collecting dust. I did buy a book a couple months ago called Is God a Moral Monster? And of course, it's a Christian book trying to defend God and how God was such a dick in the Bible. But, you know, I do want to read it because I think The Problem of Evil is probably the best evidence or arguments against God. And yeah, but anyways, I do plan to read that book. I've only gotten a few pages in, but it is collecting dust as we speak. I would like to read the whole book and then give it a review, maybe on Germania and not Gerstreams. Same way with Is God a Immoral Monster?
Even taken it out of the package yet. Close your Facebook app, go read your book. By the way, YouTube is actually okay to stay on and watch all my videos and subscribe and do all the things.
Nah, fuck that. Don't watch this guy. Watch my channel. Go to, wait a second, let me get it going. After you give this bad boy of a stream a thumbs up, go subscribe to Germania. Germania. Okay, and before we continue, let me just acknowledge some people in the side chat. Okay. Let's see here. Paul. There's a guy I watch on Twitch, and he reads every comment instead of playing the game he's streaming. It's so annoying. Okay, Paul. I literally just said, let me pause the video so I can read the comments. And that's the first comment I read. That's kind of funny. Paul also says, well, Christianity was made up. Yes, agreed. Not on apologetics, though. Yeah, don't read apologist books. Those are lame. Scott Duke thinks it may solve my destructive dog problem. Spooky bed hair. Don't know what that's about. Jason, oh shit, that was a joke by Titan. Facepalm. Yeah, Titan's not really that funny. Okay, I'm kidding. He's pretty funny. What's up, Leophilius? Always good to see you, bro. How's that new computer for you for your live stream, Gerstreams? So far it's good. Hopefully none of my audio has dropped out, but so far it's good. I have it hooked up to the Wi-Fi. I have it hooked up to Wi-Fi, and I'm going to get a little Ethernet cord so that way I won't just be Wi-Fiing it. I will actually be literally directly connected to the internet, so that should help some things if help is needed. Titan. Iron Charioteer. What did Gandhi say to the British after they asked him to move? Namaste. Okay. Take a lesson. Hey, Titan Uranus, take a lesson from Iron. What they said was actually funny. Lisa for Truth. Like Kent's claim that the GC is a breached dam. Oh, the Grand Canyon. Okay, yeah. All right. Man, I appreciate all the comments, even if it comes at the cost of slowing down my stream for me to read them. All right, here we go. What is the difference between acne and a Catholic priest? Acne usually comes on a baby's face after he. Oh my god. That's funny. Get your tallywhackers ready for Bread of Life. Wait, is Rebecca here? Did I miss her comment? Oh, speaking of Bread of Life, S.J. Thomason put out a video probably a year ago now. Something like 8 questions for Christians or something like that. So we'll probably watch that here in a little bit. Wild Heart. Hi, all. If anyone comments after this, they are incompetent. Well, that would be Scott. Scott is incompetent. Okay. I'm going to stop reading the comments now so we can get back to it. And if you're hearing my voice at this very moment, please give the stream a thumbs up. If you're not subscribed here and you would like to be subscribed here, then, you know, hit the subscribe button, bro. Otherwise, do what you want. I can't control you. But if I could control you, I wouldn't.
So YouTube's totally cool. All right, don't number 6. Don't try to master every subject. All right, so if you try to master every single subject in apologetics all at once, you're not going to master anything. You're just not. So find...
What's the saying? Jack of all... or something like that.
The thing that most...
I am a master of nothing.
interests you and master that. And by master, I don't mean like watch a couple online debates. I mean, consume literally everything you can about that particular subject. So for me, it's the argument from contingency. I've read all the latest and best material on the contingency argument that I can find. And by that, I basically Josh Rasmussen. But so I picked that subject, the argument from contingency, for one simple reason. It's just what I'm naturally drawn to. It's what I like to think about. So when you're picking an area of specialization, follow your interests. Take note of the subjects that sort of naturally capture.
Listen to your heart when he's calling to you. We're gonna skip this part. All right, we're gonna fast forward to mistake number 7. 7 out of 12 mistakes that Christian apologists make. Listen, I can think of more mistakes that Christian apologists make, but you know, that's neither here nor there.
Number 7, don't be a jerk. 1 Peter 3:15.
Okay, there are so many Christian YouTubers that come to mind on this one here, because most of them are jerks. To be fair, there are a lot of atheist YouTubers who are jerks as well. But don't even get me started there. Some of them are condescending little douchebags. And some of them just want to call Christians stupid and saying they worship a magical bearded man in the sky, yada, yada, yada. That's just not conducive to a productive conversation.
It says to always be ready to give a defense, but to do so in gentleness and respect. We all know this verse. At least if you're in apologetics, you know this verse. But do we actually live up to it? That's the real question. And if you're into apologetics, you're probably a pretty competitive person. You like to win. People win in different ways. For some people, the way that they win isn't by offering arguments, it's by making fun of people.
Are you seriously saying that wine turns into blood? Mock them, ridicule them.
For other
Okay, yeah, Richard Dawkins, he's got a lot of issues. It's just not with, you know, insulting Christians, but in other areas, but we're not going to go there. Yeah, I lost my train of thought. Which means we're going to continue this video.
There's the way that they win is by psychoanalyzing why the other person believes what they believe.
Every Christian is needy.
The way that I used to win on
Okay, Pine Creek. I've recently subscribed to his channel. And I've got to say, I really like Doug. Pine Creek, that dude, I really enjoy him. He kind of reminds me of myself, only he's smarter, wiser, more intelligent, better at everything. But other than that, he reminds me a lot of myself.
Twitter was by using snark. Now, I'm not saying that you should like never mock.
Okay, skeptics. For the Bible tells me so. LOL, so dumb. Also skeptics. For Richard Dawkins tells me so. Okay, this is going to be stupid. Also skeptics. For Christopher Hitchen tells me so. Also skeptics. For Matt Dillahunty tells me so. Also skeptics. For YouTube atheists tell me so. No, just no. Anyway.
Or psychoanalyze or use snark. Rather, I think that you should ask yourself what's behind it. Again, you want to do some introspection here. Are we doing these things to win, or are we doing this out of love for the other person? So it's the motivation behind the action. It's what determines whether you're genuinely trying to help or genuinely trying to be a jerk. This is an area that I constantly fail in, and I'm really trying to do better. All right, number 8. Don't forget how.
Damn it, I was reading a comment, and I missed whatever he said. I was reading this comment by B.S. Lewis. Grr, Thursday stream? I can't even get drunk and make an ass of myself because of work tomorrow. B.S. Lewis, I feel your pain, bro. I can't. Well, I could get a little buzzed, I guess, but I don't plan to. I only drink on Friday, Saturday, and maybe like a nightcap on Sunday. So everyone who thinks that I'm an alcoholic, you're dead wrong, son. You're done. Okay. Moving on.
To have a normal.
Number 8, don't forget how to have a normal conversation. Okay. I'm probably going to like this.
How to have a normal conversation. This is This one is so important. I mean, don't turn every conversation into a debate. You don't need to do that. My wife knows when I go into apologetics mode during a conversation, I'm very thankful that she'll regularly call me out on it. A big giveaway is when I ask her to define some basic term. Well, honey, what do you mean by money? It's like when I start to do that kind of stuff, she knows. So don't assume that every little conversation
That's kind of funny.
that you have needs a heavy dose of apologetics. Most conversations don't need a heavy dose of apologetics. So don't forget how to have.
What he means by don't have a heavy dose of apologetics in your conversations or debates. Well, I guess conversations that turn into debates is basically he's saying when you're having don't forget, not every conversation you have has to be a raging debate. And again, I would agree with that. I do agree with that. I don't know why I say I would agree with that, as opposed to just saying I do agree with that. Hey, I'm going to play this video, but I've got to answer the phone, so I'll be right back.
Normal conversation. This perfectly segues into number 9, don't abuse apologetics. I remember when I first started learning about philosophy, it was like I had been living my entire life with blinders on. Like I had some idea of how arguments worked and how to talk to people. But when I learned the different rules of inference, how to construct a valid argument, I could suddenly spot mistakes in other people's thinking. And it was almost like I gained a superpower. Like this is kind of why when you learn.
Okay, I'm going to rewind the video that I just made y'all watch, at least that last segment, because Mrs. Streams or Mrs. Mania had to call and interrupt me. I almost went into apologetics mode, bro.
Like I had been living my entire life with blinders on. Like I had some idea of how arguments worked and how to talk to people. But when I learned the different rules of inference, how to construct a valid argument, I could suddenly spot mistakes in other people's thinking. And it was almost like I gained a superpower. Like this is
all right, this is getting boring. Let's see. Let's go to mistake number 10.
Else. All right, number 10. Don't neglect accountability.
Okay, I'm just getting bored at this point. Don't neglect accountability. Okay, let's go to this one.
Of your life. All right, number 11. Don't neglect spiritual disciplines.
Boo. Don't even have to pay attention to that because, yeah. What the hell are spiritual disciplines anyway? Well, I mean, he'll probably explain, but we're going to skip that. Okay.
It's just something to think about. Okay, number 12. Our final don't. Don't forget about your mental health.
Okay, agreed. Okay, and that is that. All right. All righty then. Okay, so let's remove the screen. Stop sharing the screen. Okay. Okay, I do have to call Mrs. Mania back, but before I do, let me read some comments, and then we're going to keep going. There's another video I want to watch, and I want to watch it with all of you lovely, beautiful people, even Titan Uranus. Okay. Benghazi. Gur should talk about Caulk next. I don't know what that is. I've already said hello to you, B.S. Lewis. What's up, Nadimos? Iron Charioteer. What do you call Batmanscaping Church? A Christian. Answer Christian Bell. That's funny. Okay, Titan Uranus, I hope you're listening. Iron Charioteer knows how to tell jokes, bro. Okay. I'm going to be right back. God damn it. Unhighlight this comment. I'm going to be right back. This would just take a few moments. Everybody, heads up. I don't think the audio is going to be loud, but in case that it is, yeah. So here we go. I'll be right back.
Some songs are happy and some songs are sad. Some songs are really well rehearsed, and other songs are bad. Well, some songs are angry, and some songs are sweet. Some songs are made to help you wake up in the morning. Well, here's a little song to help you go back to sleep. There isn't any God, and when you die, you're just dead. And heaven's just a fairy tale to put you to bed. Sometimes I think about the chance that I'm wrong, and then I close my eyes and just remember this song. I said there isn't any God, and when you die, you're just dead. And heaven's just a fairy tale to put you to bed. There ain't nobody watching us, 'cause nobody cares. And in the end, we're living all alone. If I could live forever, I'd do it if I could. Leave it all behind, everything that I've done. It's just as bad as if it never begun. And if I was a believer, and Lord knows I've tried, well, I could be at peace when I close my eyes, and I can go to heaven on the day that I die. But there isn't any God, and when you die, you're just dead. And heaven's just a fairy tale to put you to bed.
All right, moving on. Sorry about that, everyone. Let me see if I can find this other video. S.J. Thomason. Like, may I vent about Mrs. Mania for just a moment? So she calls me. I put the mic on mute. I said, "Hey, what's up?" She's like, "Well, what are you doing?" I was like, "I am streaming." She's like, "Oh, so you don't want to talk to me?" I'm like, "This is not a video game. I can't just pause it." So then I played that song so I could, actually talk to her for a minute. And she was being spicy. But it's okay. I love that girl. She's awesome. Okay, anyway, we're going to go to the next video here. Let's see here. Where is it? There it is. Okay. Okay, here we go. And to everyone in the side chat, I will acknowledge your presence here in a moment. But the show must go on. Okay. So this is called 11 Questions That Atheists Cannot Answer. Well, we're going to find out if that's true.
Hello, you've reached ChristianApologist.com, and I'm S.J. Thomason, and today I'm going to present to you 11 questions that atheists cannot answer. The first question: how do you explain why the early Christian martyrs preached for decades saying they saw the risen Christ? 2.
Okay, so let me answer your question in the form of a question, if I may. How do you explain Islam when people feel so strongly about it, they crash planes into buildings and kill themselves for it? Like, it has no bearing on the truth of Christianity. If somebody makes a claim, if hundreds or thousands or even billions of people make a claim and they die for said claim, it doesn't logically follow that the claim is true. It could be false. If all these people in the New Testament and thereafter were martyred for what they believed and what they claimed, it still doesn't mean that their claims were founded. Doesn't mean that their faith is rational. Seems pretty simple to me.
How do you explain the rise of Christianity to between 5 and 6 million by 313 when it was finally legalized from such humble roots?
Well, Christianity has been the state religion in various different eras. And so that would be one reason, I would say. But regardless, this seems to me like an appeal to popularity. Because, like, oh, this thing is popular. and it's getting more and more popular. There must be truth to this. So I'm going to add to the numbers of this popular thing and make it even bigger because, all these people, they cannot be wrong. So, yeah, so far these two questions, I think, don't really, so far it's kind of easy to answer.
3. What powered inflation of the universe? 4.
What powered the inflation of the universe? This is where someone like Leo Phileas or what's that guy's name? Lawrence Krauss could probably give an answer to. But at the end of the day, what relevance does it have? If we know what powered the inflation of the universe and we have the answer, would you reject that answer, or would you just push the goalpost back and say, okay, well, you explained the inflation of the universe with X, but what powered X? And then hypothetically, we'll say, okay, we know what powered X, it was Y. And then you'd move the goalpost back, presumably. And on it goes until we get to a place where we don't have a sufficient answer, which, as most of us know, that would just be God of the gaps. We don't know how a thing came to be. Therefore, God made the thing that came to be. All right, let's see here.
3. What powered inflation of the universe?
Oops, already answered that.
4. Why are humans spiritual? 5.
Okay, when it comes to the word spiritual or the term spiritual, I really don't know what that means. I wish she would kind of expand upon some of her questioning here. I usually hate it when people do that, but I think that would be good. Like, okay, what do you mean people are spiritual or inclined to spiritualism? And at the end of the day, to me, that seems irrelevant. Because, for example, take the moth drawn to a flame analogy. Well, actually, it's not even an analogy, but anyway, basically, moths are drawn to light. That's how they get around. But they run right into the flame of candles and campfires. Just because they're hardwired that way doesn't mean they should always follow that instinct, if that makes any sense. Okay, continuing.
Where did consciousness come from? 6.
Consciousness comes from the brain, as far as I know. And again, if we say the answer is X, you're more than likely going to say, okay, well, where did X come from? And then if we say, okay, X came from Y, you would say, presumably, well, where did Y come from? And again, you move post, you keep going further and further back until we get to a point where we say, I don't know. And that's where most Christians will say, aha, therefore God. Again, that would go back to God of the gaps. And I do understand I am putting words in her mouth. But I feel like, so to be fair, that may not be what she would say. Okay. It may not be what most Christians would say. So that I am putting words in her mouth, but that doesn't necessarily mean that that is what she would say. So that's my mistake if it goes that way. Continuing.
How do you explain what some have called our 6th sense? 7.
There are more than 5 senses. That's what do you call it? A common myth. I forget how many senses there are, but there's more than sight, sound, touch. There's more senses than 5 senses. It's similar to when people say humans only use, 10 or 5% of their brain. It's like, no, that is a misperception. It's just not true. And so, yeah.
How did the Earth overcome what MIT and Stanford physicists call statistically miraculous odds to have habitable conditions?
There are, okay, if she's referring to Earth, the odds are out of the billions, if not trillions of planets in our just gigantic, vast universe, the odds are at least one, at bare minimum, one of those planets would be have conditions for life. Just a numbers game. Continuing.
8. Why does humanity cherish humility and honesty over pride and deceit? 9.
What relevance? Some of these questions just seem so irrelevant. Let me just back that up a little bit, just to make sure I get the question.
Deceit. 9. Why do almost all feel compelled to do honesty over pride? Humanity cherish humility.
Shut up.
Why does humanity cherish humility and honesty over pride and deceit?
Okay, I don't know about you, but I don't want to live, say, in a village where all the villagers are dishonest. You can't trust anybody. They all steal, kill, and destroy. Why would I want to live in a place like that? I think it's great that most of us collectively don't want to live in a world that's cruel and cold, even though the world is cruel and cold. But like, that's just kind of a no-brainer. For example, let's say you had the option of moving in with choices. The first roommate is known for constantly lying, stealing. They're also violent. And then the roommate number 2 that you could move in with is one who is honest, one who doesn't go out and steal, and one who tries their best to live a good life. It's just a no-brainer that you're going to pick roommate number 2, because why would you want to live with a psycho? And again, seems really irrelevant for a question for atheists to answer. And to everyone listening in the side chat, if you agree or disagree, just let me know. And I'm going to try to read as many comments as I can if possible.
9. Why do almost all feel compelled to do what's right by helping neighbors? Why is there a norm of reciprocity? 10.
That is called sympathy. Because we all have imaginations. If you have an imagination, more than likely that means you sympathize with people automatically. Granted, this doesn't go for psychopaths or sociopaths. I get those two confused, those two terms. Excuse me. Question. Sorry, my girlfriend threw me off. I blame it on her.
10. What is our greater purpose?
Wait.
Helping neighbors. To do what's right by helping neighbors.
Oh, and also, let's be honest. When we do a good deed to somebody, when we help the old lady cross the street or the old man bring in his groceries, you know, the neighbor next to us, it feels good. That's why we do it. Now, why are we designed, if you will, to have those type of emotions and emotional urges to help people? Well, again, it just goes back to sympathy. But why would, like, I guess if the question is, well, why do we even have those if there is no good, loving God? To me, is just irrelevant. Like, if we're talking about the God of the, obviously this person is S.J. Thomason. The God of the Bible is anything but caring. He is not caring. He is not good. He is a vicious monster. I know I'm kind of going off the path here, but I would say that the way humans typically behave, well, most humans are terrible, at least to some degree or another. But for the most of us, we enjoy helping people. We enjoy feeding the homeless, helping those who are less fortunate than us. That's how we are. And we enjoy that. There's no slavery condoning God necessary for answering that question.
Why is there a norm of reciprocity? 10, what is our greater purpose? And 11.
Purpose is subjective. That's really all I can say about that. As far as I can tell, there is no divine purpose. There's no objective meaning to life that transcends us. So that's about all I can say as far as that goes.
11, why is there evil in the world? Thank you very much.
Oh, now that one's simple. Evil, why does evil exist in the world? And I will define evil as people who commit acts against other human beings against their will that cause harm, or that cause more harm than producing well-being. Hold on. I've got my phone on silent, but it keeps lighting up. Okay, it's nobody important. Where was I? Okay, so now as far as evil goes, now if you are a Christian or part of Judaism or a Muslim, the answer for why evil exists becomes really problematic because it's God. God literally says in the Bible, I think it's somewhere in Isaiah, I form the light and I create darkness. I create good and evil. I, the Lord, do all these things, or something to that effect. So that's God clearly saying that he creates evil. The Hebrew word for that, or at least the ancient Hebrew word, if I'm not mistaken, is ra. And ra, R-A, is the same word used when it talks about the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, or ra. And then if you say, well, God doesn't create evil, he just allows people to do evil. Well, doesn't everything in existence come from God? So if something exists in some shape, form, or capacity, it comes from God. Anyway. Okay. It says I have 62 comments I have not read. So let's see here. You know what? Let me keep the video up just because you can see where it says Gerstreams. And I like that. Oh, God. Let's see here. Okay. All right. Let's see. Okay. Some of these are going to be off topic since they're so far back. This comment was from 6:30. It's currently 7:20, so I'm sorry I'm late. Gerstreams, my brain surfaces need a deep orgasm. Thank you, B.S. Lewis. Please stroke my ego some more. Gerstreams porn bomb Rebecca with his little meat and two veg. Okay, I did hear that Rebecca's channel, one of her streams got porn bombed, and that sucks. That really sucks. Porn bombers are some of the worst people online. Paul Otangelo is the best debater. No. That is unfair on Garbage. They were a great band. I forgot about that band. Okay. Immutable Destiny. We should understand the flaws and contentions to those arguments, but not just reciting them like parrots. Yeah. Oh, Leophilius, Danny is a property duelist, I think is what you're referring to. Man, I'm really far behind on these comments. I do apologize. Stephanie Tretton, not all are like you. Some egos will never change. My ego changes in size. It just gets bigger and bigger. Krishna, there are only two religions in this world, the beautiful and the ugly mind. We cannot serve both at the same moment. You could have easily rhymed that. Krishna. I may have called you Stephanie. That's my mistake. Okay, let's just keep going here. Let's skip some comments. What's the best part about being a rabbi? You get to keep the tips. Oh my Jason, aren't mental properties a derivative of physical properties? I would say yes. Oh, here's a reply from Leo. I mean, I would say so, but Danny doesn't, because he doesn't think normativity or intention can be derived from physical states / properties. Huh. I think that is probably what Danny would say. Danny would say that intention or normativity are properly non-natural. Okay, let's see here. Okay, let's keep going. What's up, Alpha? I don't know if you're listening still, because you left this comment about 30 minutes ago. So, hello. Gerstreams, didn't Pine Creek review this today? You know, I don't know. He might have, because the Capturing Christianity video that we watched earlier just came out 2 days ago, maybe 1 day ago. So it's very possible that Pine Creek reviewed it today. If he did, I will definitely go check it out. I want to see what his thoughts were on it. Okay, let's see here. Leophilius, and you can't derive an ought from an is, so you can't derive normative states from natural states. Okay, I think I see what you're saying, which is probably where Danny's getting at. Are you balding too, Gur? What does that mean? What are you talking about, bro? You leave my hairline alone. Smarter, wiser, better at everything. That could be a nun. Oh, that could be anyone. Sorry. Okay, let's see how much longer we can go for. Jan, let us in. Hiya, just working late. Open the stream so I can ignore the link. Yeah, Bond, that's the thing. Anytime I post a link, I'm Elisa, let me in, damn it. You know, I just appreciate the fact that people want to join my streams. Oh, and what's up, Dwayne Burke? Dwayne, you've got a good head of hair. You almost look like a Barbie doll. You've got that Barbie doll hair look going on, which is a good thing. I'm not disrespecting you. Gur is getting his ass chewed out. Yes, Paul, you are correct. Ooh, Mrs. Mania did not like me ignoring her to do this very stream that I'm doing. But she's overall supportive, so yeah. Beautiful people, darn it. Have to leave this chat too since I am too ugly. Hans, I have a feeling that you're a very, very good looking person. And even if you're not, it doesn't matter. Scott Duke, so this, man, I'm really far behind. Okay, let me just scroll up. All right, let me see here. Here we go. What powered the inflation of the universe? Definitely not Jesus. Right. One example I give anytime Christians will say, you know, what caused the universe, what brought the universe into existence, what made it inflate into its state that it is today. I always say, listen, I may not know what the answer is, but I know what the answer most likely is not. For example, if we're walking along the beach and we see a watch on the shore, and my friend says, you know how this watch got here? A magical unicorn put the watch here. I can say, well, I don't know how the watch ended up on shore. I have a few guesses, which would probably be I could provide likelier answers. But even if I couldn't provide an actual answer to how the watch ended up on the shore, I can say with a great deal of confidence that a magical unicorn did not put the watch on the beach. Okay, let's see here. B.S. Lewis, the funny thing is that God can answer any question. Yes, it appears to be the case. Did the apostle use the sixth sense to see dead people? I always hate when God, of some weird reason, put my keys Okay. Gerstreams, we can take in more info than our brains can process, therefore 6 cents. Yeah, well, there's more than 6 senses anyway. Move along, and I'll read this one comment from Iron Charioteer, then we're going to watch another video. Why did Jesus put an entertaining center right next to a sewage system? Thanks, Jesus. Good designer. Oh, yeah. I know where your mind is, Iron Charioteer. It's in the gutter, where it always is. Okay. We're about to look at another video. Let me see if I can find one. Let's see. Questions for HCS. There was another video somewhere. Let me see if I can find it. Let's see. No, already answered that one. Definitely not going to look at that one. Okay. Here's a video. Questions to ask an atheist, and it looks like it's with William Lane Craig. So let's take a gander. Let's take a gander.
On your definition of atheism or non-theism, it really embodies a diversity of views, such as agnosticism, what is normally called atheism, or this verificationism. Now, which of those do you hold to within this umbrella of atheism? Are you an atheist who asserts the proposition God does not exist? Or do you simply withhold belief in God in the way the agnostic does?
Right. On some days, I'm a greater. No, I'm not going to do you that much of a favor. On some days, I'm a great admirer of Thomas Huxley, who had the great debate with Bishop Wilberforce in Oxford at the Natural History Museum about Darwinism in the mid 19th century.
You know, I'm not knocking on Christopher Hitchens. It would have been great here.
Who was known as Darwin's bulldog. We would now say Darwin's pit bull. And who completely trounced the good bishop. But I can't thank him for inventing the term.
Just answer the question, Christopher.
Agnostic. And I can't thank him for some of his social Darwinist positions either, some of which are rather
unattractive. I need an answer to this.
Okay, yeah, I can't believe I'm saying this. I'm with William Lane Craig here. Just answer the damn question, Christopher. Answer it.
Because I think agnosticism is evasive. To me, yes, if you talk about the power of the Holy Spirit and so forth, to me, that is meaningless. It's to me, I'm sorry, I've tried. It's white noise. It's like saying there is only one God and Allah is his messenger. It's gibberish to me. There are many of us, I'm sorry, there are just many of us of whom this is the case. It may be true, it is true.
Okay, Mr. Hitchens, I got to press you here because time is leaving.
Feel free.
What is your view exactly?
Press away.
Do you affirm God does not exist, or do you simply withhold belief? I think once
I have said that I've never seen any persuasive evidence for the existence of something, and I've made real attempts to study the evidence presented and the arguments presented, that I will go as far as to say, have the nerve to say, that it does not therefore exist, except in the minds of its, except in the Henry Jamesian subjective sense that you say of it being so real to some people in their own minds. That it counts as a force in the world. Yeah.
Okay, so you do affirm.
Okay, again, and no disrespect to the late Christopher Hitchens, but just answering the question directly, I think would have been great. You know, when you say you're an atheist, you say you withhold belief in God, you believe there is no God, you're unconvinced. Like, how do you define your atheism? It's essentially what Dr. Craig was asking. And Christopher Hitchens was giving a really long-winded answer. And again, no disrespect to the late Hitchens, but man, a direct answer would have been great here.
So you do affirm then that God does not exist. Now, what I want to know, and do you have any justification for that?
I think I've come unwired in some horrible way.
You're fine.
Are you sure?
Do you have any any arguments leading to the conclusion that God does not exist?
Well, I would rather. I think I'm wondering if I'm boring anybody now. I would rather say. I'd rather state it in reverse and say I find all the arguments in favor to be fallacious or unconvincing.
All right, and there we have it. Let me just.
But I can't.
Nope. Okay, so I've mentioned this recently, and I'll mention it again. I might even do a video on it. But when it comes to the definition of atheism or atheist, a lot of online atheists, as stated by Leo Filius in one of my streams, a lot of them subscribe to the relatively new definition of atheism, which is an atheist is a person who lacks belief in God or gods. I somewhat still am one of those who subscribe to that definition, but I've come to realize in academia circles, in academics, atheist means a person who believes there is no God. Now, to me, it's kind of irrelevant whether the whole term, but I guess when it comes to burden of proof, I guess it does become relevant, even though beliefs don't require a burden of proof, just the claims. But yeah, anyway, it just seems like Christopher Hitchens would have just answered that directly. And again, no disrespect to him. I'm going to get myself into some hot water with the atheist, bro. All right, let me get to the comments. Why is it not going all the way down? Give me more comments. Okay. Speed. Answers in atheism. Yeah, girl. Bullshit. Let me in. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. How do I scroll down? What is going on here? I don't know if there's any comments after Randy. If there are, it's not letting me see the comments. What the hell? Okay, Randy, agreed, Iron. The horsemen helped lots of non-religious people. They didn't have to keep their views to themselves. Oh, here we go, here we go. I think he answered it. It's gibberish. Atheism has evolved since Hitchens. God, why won't it let me read more comments? Let's see. I forgone. Am glad you bear talking more. I forgone. What? I'm sorry, Pixie. I'm not understanding. Hold on. Let me try something here. Hold on, everyone. Hold on. Okay, I'm trying to see if this helps me read the damn comments. I don't know what that was. I think that was a StreamYard thing. All right, we already watched that. Okay. Okay, let's see here. Satan's Little Helper, aka Corey. I say questions like that. I say questions like that as a non sequitur because we defined meaning and around words from the context that are around it. Yeah. Speed, I must be having a stroke. I actually asked to get into your streams. Okay, Speed, if you're listening, I'm going to let you in, bro. Hold on. Answers in atheism only. Okay, Speed, we're going to see if you join. Come on. All right, this is for Speed only. Nobody else joined the stream. This is for Speed. Oh, Pixie's at work, not paying attention. Okay, yeah. Yeah, if you could clarify what you meant, Pixie, that'd be awesome, Pixie. Okay, so there's your invitation. Oh, here we go. Pixie, I, for one, am glad you are talking more, girl. Oh, thank you. You know, it's funny because I started to think, and there's probably a lot of truth to this, but I was thinking, you know what, Gur? People that watch your streams, they probably watch it for all the people that join and for all the shit that happens, because you rarely talk in your own streams. But now that I've been doing mostly solo streams, it hasn't affected the viewership. So that's cool. I've been doing mostly solo. Oh, you're echoing, Speed. And now you saying nothing. Brainbug. Answers in atheism only. Poppycock, I say. Speed, are you there, good sir? Speed, you are muted. Oh my God, Speed. Okay. All right. Well, while Speed's trying to figure out whatever he's doing, I'm going to read some more comments. Native Atheist, did I miss the dumpster fire? No. I pride myself in saying that this stream will probably, keyword probably, have less dumpster fires on it. As much as I enjoy having a nice dumpster fire on my channel, it is nice for it to be civilized for once.
Is it working now?
Yes, it is. How are you doing, good sir?
I'm doing pretty good. I almost had a stroke though when you said nasty things about Christopher Hitchens.
I was not saying nasty things about Christopher Hitchens.
What was your problem?
Okay, so what's his name? Dr. Craig said, you know, how do you define your atheism? You know, is it agnosticism? You don't know. There may or may not be a God. Do you affirm that there is no God? Like, how do you define it? And he gave this like 2-minute answer.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah. He should have just said, you know, it's not. Well, he said it was gibberish.
And, yeah, he finally got around to saying that, but it actually took Dr. Craig actually like pressing him on the matter.
Yeah, I think that's like most people when they say they're an atheist, they mean something pretty simple by that. You know, I just don't believe in God. You know, and it's like, no, they don't have. They may not have proof that God doesn't exist, or you know, and you might, and they try to pigeonhole them into this agnostic position, and they don't want to do that because they simply don't believe in your God because they think it's gibberish, right?
Right.
So, I mean, so most people that say they're an atheist, you know, and then you got these philosophers like Leo and Steve McRae that, oh, no, they want to get in and dice them up. Well, most people have a pretty simple meaning that I just don't believe your shit. You know? So, I mean, I think that's fair. And I think we ought to leave people like that alone. I mean, not everybody has to go and read, what the hell's his name? The guy that wrote the Blackwell Companion on Atheism or whatever. I forget what it is. I got it hanging here somewhere. His name. Oh, what is his name? Obi or?
Fuck is it? That name sounds familiar.
Yeah.
Fuck, what is that dude's name?
I'm trying to find the book. Got it here somewhere. But he wrote this huge, you know, compendium on atheism and stuff. And not everybody needs to do that. I just don't believe your shit.
You know, when it comes to, you know, how do you define atheism? To me, Oppie. Thank you, Brainbug.
Graham Oppie.
Oppie.
Yep.
I don't know what it is. Anytime somebody forgets the name of somebody, for whatever reason, I automatically forget with them.
Yeah, I know. That happens. Yeah, there are reasons in the brain why that happens. And it's driving me fucking crazy because on a daily basis, I look at like 50 acronyms in the morning before 10 o'clock.
Yeah, I know you look for pudding brain in the transcripts of LPP.
Oh, yeah, and I search for pudding brain and meth burnout and all that shit. So anyway,
That's your name. Yeah, you know, but when it comes to atheism, how do you define it? The way I see it is it doesn't matter to me whether I say there is no God, I lack belief in God. that I hate God. All that stuff is all irrelevant to me because I just want the person who asked the question to know that I do not believe in their God, and I do not believe in any other God outside of their gods. It's just that simple.
So I was in a Bible study today with a few good, really intelligent Christians and some atheists and a couple of secular Jews. And they came up with like 3 different classes for kinds of gods, because the topic of the Bible study was, what God do you believe in? You know, and so I thought we were going there to vote for one, right? So I showed up. and they had 3 classifications: theism, pantheism, and panentheism. And we decided that theism was that there was a creator God. Like there was something that, you know, thought about things and created the universe. That's theism. And I reject that out of hand. And then pantheism, which is the universe is God. You know, that we are all part of God and the universe is God. And then panentheism, that the universe is God, but God is something far greater outside of the universe, but not necessarily a creator God, that God, you know, that the universe is just a part of a bigger thing, that sort of thing. And that's almost, and I made the comment that pantheism was the same as atheism, that it was compatible with atheism, that we are part of the universe, and it isn't a creator God. The universe just is, you know, and we are part of it, right? So that's compatible. So that's kind of how I look at it. And this idea of a creator God. And I told them, you know, after I listened to them for a long time, they were talking about, you know, their justification for God. And I asked them, why is it always me, 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 me? You know, it's always about like a human morality, human goodness, humans deciding what is good, and then claiming that that comes from this greater creator God, right? So what they're doing is they're projecting their humanness, their own human moralities and standards onto the universe, you know, or something greater than the universe, right? Do you understand that?
Yeah, no, I'm sorry. I was sipping on my Dr. Pepper.
Okay.
Real quick, I thought you might like this comment. Lady Avon says, did Speed and Gurr make up? Yay.
Oh, hell no. Oh, no, I hate this fucker. No, Gurr is canceled.
And also, well, I was just going to say, also, Titan Uranus said something. Gurr streams implying McRae is a philosopher, falls under misinformation. Better be careful. YouTube is cracking down. Okay, I never even once brought up McRae, but I think he's probably talking about Leo because he said something about Leo up here. Oh, shut up. Leo knows some philosophy, but I have literally heard him say he knows science better and prefers it. McRae is a philosopher like our ugly mug is Miss America. I don't really.
Yeah. I don't know. McRae does, you know, he can do logic and I mean, what is the bar for being a philosopher? I think it's pretty fucking low. I mean, Danny set the bar pretty low, right? I mean, anyway, so people on your streams actually, okay, guys, it was what were we doing? We were doing a parody of, you know, having a war between us. I mean, we've never not gotten along.
Well, the first time you had a stream that caught my attention.
You thought it was, yeah.
I was like, what is going on here? Because the name of the stream was Gurbania, like as in we're going to ban Gurmania.
Yeah.
And I was like, what the hell is this bullshit? And then I watched it and I was like, okay, this is kind of funny. And then you've got the other one, scientific papers on why Gurr streams causes erectile dysfunction, which got Sal pretty good on that one because he thought that we were enemies. And then your most recent stream or 2 streams back, something about Gurmania is canceled, and you were simply just following what
John Maddox.
What LPP was prophesying about.
Yeah, the first one I got you with the whole, you were in the sub basement below Smokey Saint. Like, it was like cobwebs and your bones are laying over. Yeah, or the bones of Smokey State. You go past that, and down below that, you'll find cursed dreams.
I remember John was saying, "I'm not gonna lie, I was a little jealous because he didn't mention me in any of that."
Yeah, I just forgot about him.
Yeah, that's when you say, "Well, John, you're so irrelevant. You take up so little time in my brain that I didn't even think of you in this analogy." And also, Titan Drinks is still going. McRae cannot even properly finish a truth table. LOL. McRae can do logic. Again, Titan, I never once mentioned him. I barely know the guy.
Yeah.
I don't even think I know the guy.
Yeah, okay, that's probably fair. If he fucked up a truth table, then yeah. That's right. Yeah. But like I say, Danny sets the bar pretty low, so.
Okay, I would, probably not, because I get tired of moderating bullshit. But I would love for you two just to have a one-on-one, just y'all really like going at it, not going at it, but, really getting to the bottom of what y'all disagree with.
Me and who? Danny?
Danny boy.
Fuck. Well, what I disagree with is somebody said it the other day. I don't know if it was in one of the Bible studies. They said, when you come at me with a syllogism, no, Pine Creek said it today on his stream. He said, when somebody wants to have a conversation with me and they start coming at me with a syllogism, the conversation is over. We're not having a conversation anymore. You're talking shit. And I think it's a syllogism. So the idea that you can do philosophy with syllogisms it sort of offends me.
Well, yeah, syllogisms are great when it comes to debates. But
they're great when it comes to logic class. But outside of logic class, let them go. I don't know.
Real quick, Lisa for Truth, I just posted the link for your eyes only. Everybody else, ignore this part. You don't even see it on your screen.
I ain't gonna be here that long, so I got
good.
dinner. I got dinner. Yeah, I know. I can barely stand.
Barely stand to be around my presence, my digital presence.
Your digital presence. Anyway, the thing about like this big thing about are rocks atheists? Well, kind of, yeah. I mean, I can make a case for that. I mean, things that do not believe in God. Okay, I mean, there are probably people that don't believe in God that were never exposed to it, like toddlers, right?
Mm-hmm. Right, yeah.
And I mean, so you have to acquire a belief in something like Christianity or God by hearing about it, right? So there's that default position of not believing because I just have not been convinced.
Yeah, I would say, and this is being charitable, I would say agnosticism is the default state.
Yeah. And then, I have gone further. And the point where I went further, where I decided that gods couldn't possibly exist, is when I started to gain an understanding through science of what the mind is and, what thinking is and what consciousness is. And then I realized that you could not have that without, having some sort of embodied creature in time. And that was where I came to my hard atheism. So I will call myself a hard atheist. I believe that gods don't exist for reasons,
right?
Reasons, right? And the reasons are complicated and they're involved in neuroscience and a bunch of other shit. So, anyway, hi, Lisa.
Hello, Lisa.
Hey, yeah, religion is an emergent property of the brain. So is consciousness,
Yeah.
But the problem is why I say that I don't know there's a God, okay, is I'm not prepared to say that there can't be like a Zeus type God or a deistic type God, right? But the quad omni God of Christianity, no fucking way.
Yeah.
Right. It's a logical contradiction as far as I can tell.
Yeah, it is. Especially when you get hell involved.
Right. Like,
I don't know. I believe there could possibly be a Batman, but I don't think there could be a Superman.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
I don't know.
Yeah.
And I mean, you know, in some weird fucking universe, maybe, you know, we could say that there's a possibility of a god or a deity, but I don't think we live in that universe, and we have absolutely no reason to even give this 3 seconds of thought. But anyway.
Well, I will say this. Anytime somebody says atheism is a worldview, the way I see it is, okay, let me just grant it for the sake of argument. Following that logic, not believing in Santa Claus or believing that there is no Santa Claus is also a worldview. So
yeah,
like, if that's the hill you want to die on, then fine. You know, I'm not going to stop you.
Yeah.
And Jason says, being a hard atheist puts you in a position to prove no gods exist. Well, that's fair.
No.
But I think you can't. Well, I guess it depends on the God that you're. Well, I don't know. Like,
okay, let me explain why I don't care for that statement. You can only prove mathematical theorems. There's nothing else that you can prove. Okay, everything else you just basically you make the damn best guess you can based on your knowledge. I mean, you can't prove that something doesn't exist. How the hell would you do that? You know, there's no way to prove a God doesn't exist, because you can always fill in something that the God could do. I mean, the God could basically pull strings and remove your ability to prove things, right? I don't know. There's no way to prove it.
Well, I disagree with that statement in as much as it depends on what you're trying to prove or disprove. Like, we can disprove there was ever a worldwide flood. That's just
right.
You know, so it depends. It depends.
Yeah, I guess I'm a snob in that I look at the word. I look at proofs as being mathematical and logically crisp.
Oh, I can definitely understand where you're coming from that, but you know, I mean, if you've got a true dichotomy, right, and you absolutely disprove one, then a true dichotomy means the other one, you know, it's like these creationists, you know, I'm like, why don't you try proving creation instead of trying to disprove evolution? Because even if you disprove evolution, and they're never gonna, but even if they disprove evolution, that doesn't do what they think it does. That doesn't prove their brand of creationism. It just doesn't, you know?
Right.
Yes. You know, words like prove and atheist and all of that, you know, you have to look at the you have to take a clue from Wittgenstein on how fuzzy these classes of words, you know, I mean, there's these families, words have a family resemblance. They're fuzzy. They're like games. Like, Wittgenstein goes through this whole thing about what is a game. And he shows you that basically you can't really define that, you know, clearly. You'll always end up with these fuzzy edges and all of these little one-off things. And it's that way with the word prove. And some of us will some of us will have, you know, a snobby attitude about what prove means or what atheist means or whatever. And then we'll sit and argue with another human being who has a less, you know, has a more fuzzy version of what it is. But I will say that being a hard atheist, I do have an obligation to justify that, you know, and I believe that I can justify it. So, I mean, so it's a justified belief, basically.
So hard atheist is no gods exist, correct?
Right. No theist type gods, creator type gods, gods that think and plan things and create things, right? Okay.
Yeah. But you can't, but like you just said, you can't prove that.
No, you can't prove it.
So your statement of saying no gods exist, you don't really have like that. It's a difficult position to take. That's why most people are weak atheists. To be a hard atheist is to say, I know for a fact that no gods exist, but it's impossible to say that no gods exist. I mean, that God could exist. But we have no evidence to suggest that God exists.
Yeah, before you even get into that, I can't prove that everything in the universe didn't start last Thursday and it's going to end on Friday.
Correct.
And then we're going to repeat it, you know.
Correct, but you wouldn't come out and say, I absolutely know that the universe did not come into existence last Thursday.
I couldn't say that, no.
Yeah,
no
just say the same way you can't say, I know for a fact that no theistic gods exist.
Yeah, because I think words like absolute and certainty, I think those are inherently religious.
Well,
I'm not religious.
So.
I would
concur with that.
I would give you that. But, there's another thing that you have to think of, too. There may be a time, like 10,000 years from now, where we may be able, operative word here, may be able to prove that there is no God in this universe. But what about another universe?
I mean, look, what I think a better way of saying it is that a hard atheist is somebody that says that I don't see any evidence that suggests that a God exists. Therefore, I don't think God exists. But that doesn't necessarily mean that it's impossible that God exists. It's not, because you can't prove, like impossibility, absolutely proving, things like that they're just, it's very, that's like kind of in a realm, like you said, Speed. It's not, you're in this realm that is not really scientific in some respects. I mean, I hate to say that, but most science doesn't revolve around proving absolutely something is the case or not the case.
Oh,
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Jason, as somebody who would know better than me, if I give you my description, could you give me a standardized label under that system? I would generally, talking to people, just say agnostic for handiness. This strong atheist and world atheist and, all that sort of shit, I don't even bother with because it annoys me because it's like subcategories of subcategories of all that sort of shit. But in conversations with Critical Cripple, the way we have, you're talking to your mate, the way I've come down with it is I would be atheistic towards the Christian God, agnostic to everything else, and I would live my life as if there is no God. So what would that be?
I mean, yeah, go ahead.
It's an atheist.
Yeah, I mean,
I can't. Well, I would prefer to say agnostic because I can't prove anything. I would acknowledge the fact that if I say atheist to me means, in my old school or whatever it was, whenever I come up with it, what's ground in for atheist for me would mean I know that there's no gods.
Yeah,
and I just know that there's no Christian God because that whole thing is a contradiction. So I would be atheistic towards that, but agnostic in general.
So I think that's fine. I think the only reason that the topics weak atheism, strong atheism, agnostic atheism, like Gnostic atheists, all those terms have come into play because of topics like that have become popular, like presuppositionalism or trying to defend against Christian apologetics. Because as soon as somebody says, I'm an atheist, there is no such thing as God, somebody's like, how do you know that? You can't prove that there's no such thing as a God. And then you start to get put into a corner where you're like, well, technically I can't. And they're like, aha, see, you're wrong. So
this is, that's the thing. It took you longer to describe weak atheist, this atheist, not atheist, and discuss the different types than it took me to tell you what I believe.
Yeah.
And that's my issue with it. And Icarus is saying that's not what it means, and we can fight over that. But, this is what I wouldn't say grew up believing. I didn't know what atheism was until I was like fucking 25 or whatever. You just don't believe in God. You're just a non-theist, But it takes longer to describe what you're talking about than actually describe what you believe if you try and put the labels on it. That's the problem I see with it, if you understand.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to see what Icarus was saying.
When I said I think and take down, and what I have originally learned was atheism is there is no God, And he says that's not what it means. You need to know or prove.
Okay. So, like, essentially, like, I think Icarus is saying that you don't need to prove that no God exists to call yourself an atheist.
Right.
So, I mean, okay. I mean, I wouldn't like take umbrage with that big time, but I just think that if you come out and you say, I'm an atheist, that there's kind of in the modern vernacular, people say, then you're saying absolutely there's no such thing as God. There's no.
Oh yeah, they can take it. They can take it to that extreme if you use that particular vernacular.
And so I think that's why this terms hard and weak atheist have come into play, is to kind of separate those things out. If you want to just say, look, atheism is just, I don't believe that a God exists, and I'm not making any proof claims or anything. I'm just saying my belief view is I don't think God exists, period. And okay, I think that's fine. I don't see a problem with that.
People that identify themselves as atheists, I mean, I'm just going to be charitable and say, okay, they don't believe in God. And I will call myself a hard atheist because I put the extra requirement on myself that I'm an asshole and I like philosophy and I like neuroscience and I like the theory of the mind and all of that. And I can go ahead and justify it. So I will call myself a hard atheist. But if you just call yourself an atheist, I'm not going to give you a shit. You know,
does that come down to who you? Does that come down to who you have these discussions with, though, Speed?
What's that?
The fact that you would go into that descriptor of saying hard atheist, where if you were just walking up to the street and you bumped into someone and they just randomly asked you, you know, you wouldn't need to put the hard on it.
Right.
You know,
right.
Most
just say I'm an atheist,
what I'm saying is the need to put that on is come down to the pedantic nature and the fucking, I'm going to slam a label on you for the exact reason that Jason said, because if you pick a label, I have an argument to debunk that.
Right.
So it's the pedantic nature of the community that we're in that's come down to the fact that you need to say hard atheist rather than just a random person on the street. And random people on the street are more popular than we are. You know, we're just assholes on the internet talking shit.
Yep.
I would hardly. Titan says that hard and weak are silly colloquialisms used by philosophically uneducated. Okay, I think it's a little harsh.
I don't think so.
Really?
I think it's a good distinction to explain something. Okay, to explain the difference between the average person's atheist and somebody who is willing to have a deep conversation about why they don't believe. Right. So I mean, again, it's just a colloquialism. And we're not, you know, it doesn't mean we're shitty philosophers just because we speak a language colloquially, you know, we communicate with each other. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, let's back the fuck off the atheists and quit.
I don't claim to be a philosopher. So I'm not, you know, we talk about these things, but you know, I'm not a philosopher.
I do because the bar ain't that high. The bar ain't that high to do philosophy. You just go learn a few things and start thinking, you know, start creating, start synthesizing. You can call yourself a philosopher. It doesn't mean a fuck of a lot. You know, that smart.
I would say I have an interest in philosophy.
Yeah.
You know, I wouldn't say I would be a philosopher.
Okay. Are we not going to address that stupid video S.J. Thomason put out about questions atheists can't answer when we literally can answer every single goddamn question?
I did that yesterday on the weather report.
Yeah, I was going to say, does everybody not do that every 6 months when one of them comes out? Like,
yeah,
I thought we were having an interesting conversation.
Yeah, we did it yesterday on the weather report. So went through all 11 and talked about them.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I was just, you know, wondering.
Sorry, I come across as rude. I don't mean to be rude. I'm just
no. It's okay, man.
Rude at all. Not to say that the definition of atheism is a wonderful conversation, but we were having a better one than other people have.
Yeah.
I only came in here because Speed was talking about hard atheism, so I thought I'd pipe up. But
so you come give me shit, right?
No. I follow you around, Speed. Wherever you go,
okay.
I track you.
Yeah. I'm a hard atheist when it comes to the God of Christianity, but I'm agnostic when it comes to other gods.
Right now, next week, not this Saturday, but next Saturday, which would be the 12th. Funny story, the guy I buy weed off, just in general conversation, you know, and all the rest of it, he's an atheist, doesn't believe in stuff like that. And I told him I had a YouTube channel. He watched a couple episodes, enjoyed it, but wasn't his thing, you know. But another person that he also would sell a bit of weed to is a Wiccan lady. She's looking to get into podcasting. He mentioned it to her, and we physically met. She only lives like 4 miles away. We physically met like 2 weeks ago, and on the 12th, she is coming on for an interview. She doesn't want to sit beside me. She's going to sit in the fucking living room with my laptop, and like we can do it. But she's going to be here. So I'm reaching out for people who are decent conversationists. Speed, Ger, Lisa, and Jason. You know, a good panel right now.
Oh,
no, I'm only saying it because you're the fucking host. I'm actually reaching out.
I knew it. I knew it.
Oh, Matt.
No. The reason I'm asking, right, is what is your thoughts on platforming that? She didn't know the term, but she suggested a few people for me to watch on YouTube, you know, and said these people are aligned with my belief system and this, that, and the other. Long story short, quantum mysticism, a little bit of Wiccan, supernatural, and she actually went through a witch ceremony. She is an official witch. She went out into the forest half naked, got a knife to her throat under the starlight and all that, and is an official witch. So she will be coming on the 12th. What is your thoughts on platforming people like that?
For the most part, Wiccans are cool.
Yeah. She's also the lead singer in a rock band. All right.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Who is?
Double awesome.
She's okay. So that's on the 12th. On the 12th, do you know what time? Like in
it'll be 11 p.m. my time, which would be 6 Eastern.
Which would be what? So like 6 p.m.
6 p.m. Eastern. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, I got a phone call from.
I'm going to talk to her for maybe 45 minutes or so, and just sort of, you know, test the waters and stuff. It'll be her first time in any online community, in any online thing at all. You know, so I want to be sort of half nice and not scare the shit out of her.
I will check it out.
Hey, we're just giving everyone a heads up. I've got to end this in like 20-ish minutes, so I went ahead and let it said screw my 5 people max rule.
Yeah, so Gur, I got to get out of here because I'm having a blood sugar attack and dinner's arriving. So
there we go.
Anyway, Immutable's here, so I got to get the hell out of here.
Here we go. Boy,
there we go. Okay, goodbye.
You know when you get a
fell into the stream.
Before you jump, Speed, do you know when you get what is it, like a brain fart and your brain jumps? When you said brain sugar or blood sugar and you need to go get dinner, I was thinking enemy of the state as you and Will Smith in the front seat of the car getting crabby. I need to eat.
Yeah,
I think it's your icon.
Yep, that's my icon. I got that from Sal Cordova. He calls me a high school dropout whose brain is burnt out on drugs and alcohol. That's what he calls me. So anyway,
boy, I mean, man, your relationship with him has soured a lot. Apparently,
what's that?
Your relationship with him has soured quite a bit. Because
me and Sal. Oh yeah. No, we're just we're actually dating.
Ah,
yeah. Actually,
has he found another person he likes as well as you, or just what's? Just kind of sounds like he's.
I think he likes Cindy Lincoln quite a bit, so I'm keeping an eye on that romance. Anyway,
apparently.
Anyway, I got to go, guys. So,
Bye, Speed.
Yep. Bye.
I would do that thing where I try to keep him here as long as I can, but don't have the time today.
Oh, that's always funny. I did that.
Oh, I'm here. You didn't read.
Yeah, I read your message, Pixie, like 2 seconds after I let you in.
Hello, everyone.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah, Ger doesn't pay any attention to what anybody says, so you know.
But you should read it too, Lisa.
Yeah, I know. I read it.
I'm gonna read it live right now. No, I'm just kidding.
It's okay. It would just confuse people because it wouldn't make any sense.
That's what I'm all about.
Yeah, Pixie, I will. In fact, let me go ahead and do that right now. I will see you guys later. Have a great night.
All right.
Always good talking to you, Lisa.
Yeah. Pixie wants me to shoot her an email, so let me go do
Pixie
that.
wants everyone to send her nudes. I mean emails.
Oh, there you go.
Actually, I was inviting her into a chat I have, but I need her email address to do that. So I asked her to shoot me a blank email.
Okay, gotcha.
Pixie, just post it in the side chat. Nobody else will click it. They might explode if they do. What's up, Cerberus? How you doing tonight, bruh?
Oh, not much. Kind of past the topic I wanted to jump in on, so I was just kind of sitting here.
You know, it's free for all. It doesn't matter.
I put in the chat. I don't think like proof is really a good metric to begin with. Like when we discuss atheism or like belief in a god or something like that. Because kind of what like Speed was saying, I can't prove to you, like in a logical sense, like that the universe didn't begin last Thursday. I mean, like the term like prove and disprove are like very specific terms to like logic and like mathematics. So, I mean, if the standard we're going off of is proof, there's not very much we can prove. Like when we were talking, like in a general sense.
Give me 6 months of your time, I'd prove I'm an asshole, man. Just get to know me.
More like 6 minutes. You don't need 6 months.
6 months. Yeah, no.
Okay, guys. Peace out.
All right, bye, Lisa.
Yeah.
Later days, and I'm gonna.
Yeah, I'm gonna bounce
you.
too. I need to get some
Bye.
stuff sorted. Thank you for not exploding me.
Thank you for joining.
Always fun, Gar.
Always a fun time with you,
As I
Mr.
said, I really am pushing that stream. I think it's going to be a really good stream showing, lots of different people. I've got Christians coming on. I've got, guy that just can't his reason for not like evolution is because it doesn't have any predictive power. And I knew he had a shit attack when he said that. But,
do you have the link to it yet?
No. Oh, no. Yes, it's on my channel. It's linked and all. I've got a whole, what do you call her? Bewitched witch icon flying across the thumbnail. So,
who were you talking to that said that?
Pardon?
Who were you talking to that said that?
Oh, that was a guy called Reverend Ron's Revelation Room.
Ah, interesting.
It was an interview we had last week. He didn't say it in the interview. He said it in one of his videos. I didn't bring it up during on stream because I didn't want it to go that direction. I'm trying to break community. I'm trying to reach out now. I'm really having trouble with talking to people of different beliefs and things like that there. When it gets to that stage. And
Mathpig, you said it was the stream coming out on the 12th?
Yes.
All right, I'm going to post it in the side chat.
Oh, you can't miss it, man. It's got like a bewitched witch on her broomstick and all. Like,
I'm not going to lie, that's a nice looking witch. Just saying. All right, let me.
Well, it's not a fucking icon of the lady. Like, I can show you a picture of her if you want. She's not bad.
Nah, that's okay. I mean, unless she's cool with having her pictures.
That's Let's not do that.
What do you take me for?
You're a dirty pervert. That's what I take you for. Am I wrong? Am I wrong?
No, you're not wrong. All right, let me post this in the side chat. There we go. Mathpig's upcoming stream. Ah, shit, did I not space it? Can people still click on that?
I also have Richard coming on every Tuesday. We do Richard at 6 Eastern, and me and Richard is going through the Book of Revelations at the minute.
Talking about a fun time.
Oh man, no, it generally is. Like it's the highlight of my week. It's a lot of fun. Me and Richard have known each other now about 3.5 years, and we have a good banter.
Nice.
Oh, see you later, Jason. I just saw your message.
Yeah. See.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. I got to go to dinner, guys. I'll see you later. Always great to see everybody.
Good to see you.
Yeah, arguably the Book of Revelations is like one of the most complicated books in the Bible.
It's also very important to Richard to the point where he has it tattooed on his hand and up his right wrist. Revelations.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Like that. He has a start. He has a tattoo on his hand that isn't Revelations. It's not like he got the words and fucking, but it's a symbolism. And if you ask him about it with the planets and stuff and the way he has it wrote, it's based in Revelations. It's one of the big books that he has. This is the 4th series that we're doing. It's called A History of. We did his David and Goliath story, which is his original vision, waking vision that sent him along this path. and we went through that. The second book we went through was the Book of Enoch. The third one was Gilgamesh. We did all of that over maybe 8 months. And if you watch the last episode of Series 3, I was very frustrated. You know, we were going through Gilgamesh, and Gilgamesh has a best friend, and then Gilgamesh's best friend dies. And then Enkidu, yeah. And Gilgamesh and Enkidu, right? And then Enkidu dies or whatever the fuck. I'm using the words that we would use. It makes it funnier when your people are watching. And then they go and speak to the guy who's basically the Noah, you know, talks about the flood and stuff. And I don't want to sound like an asshole because it's really bland. I'm saying it very quickly, but every one of these people was a different Jesus from a different planet. And by the very end of the episode, I think there was like 4 Jesuses, and I was losing the bap. So we took like an 18-month break, right? It was like, no, man, I can't do Series 4. I know we've been doing this straight for like 7-8 months or whatever. No, I can't do another series. I'm going to flip the fucking lid. Like, we didn't fall out or anything, you know, we still remained friends and chatted and stuff and all, like, but no, we took like an 18-month break because it was just, there's too many Jesuses. I'm flipping out. But
he has interesting beliefs, honestly.
Pardon?
He has some really interesting beliefs. I'm not sure I quite understand them.
Well, our banter back and forth, like every episode, I make him question something. As slammed down as Richard is in his beliefs, you know, I know his beliefs well enough to the point where we can actually read it and I can see his point before he mentions it. I'm like, right, you're going to say this. And he's like, okay. He did a stream the other day and he mentioned me and he was like, yeah, I do a stream with MathPig and he knows what I'm going to say before I say it because we spent that much time together. But it's fun because with that, it's not like I'm a translator, but I can see the issues with it. But they make a fucking joke in the bloody damn thing because we have a bromance. You know?
Yeah, what?
A bromance.
Oh, I thought you said
yeah, right. I need a bounce. I have a person waiting in another hangout that I need to go and do.
Well, aren't you Mr. Popular?
I was gonna say,
fucking rarely, man. And this isn't actually anything. This is not going to be a fun stream. This is someone needing help. I have to go and help them.
Okay.
You know, someone. It's what I do. You know yourself. I'm always here if someone needs to talk or.
Well, I need to talk right now.
Oh, fuck you. You could 3 other people.
All right, well, get out of here, Matt. English Pig.
Not English Pig.
From now on, that's all I'm going to call you is English Pig.
No, there's actually a hashtag Not English Pig, and I have some merch and stuff I'm working on.
Well, if it's going to help you make money, I'm definitely not going to say it. And there he goes.
Yeah, I was going to say the story of Gilgamesh has the truest thing ever said in any story ever written.
And what's that?
Which is warning the story did not occur?
No, it's when they bring Enkidu into the city and they give him a woman and a beer, and then he civilizes himself.
All right.
That's kind of funny. Oh, Severus, I did watch some of your discussion with T-Jump.
Oh, yes, so it didn't last that long.
It did not last long. Yes. Can you reiterate what you were trying to say and what he was not getting?
Okay, so what I was trying to say is because something, a fact isn't knowledge until it's essentially in someone's mind, right? It has to be a belief first when we're talking about propositional things. So I was saying, you know, there's this thing that at any given point in time knows all knowledge that is possible to know. Because that explicitly excludes facts that aren't known yet.
You're right. Yeah, makes sense to me.
And he was trying to say that I was saying that included unknown facts, and I wasn't. That's where he was getting upset with me.
Yeah, and he was getting really upset.
Well, he was getting really upset because given the like essentially the properties I asked, you know, if I could show you there's a thing that has these properties, would you say there's a God? He was actually dangerously close to being a theist.
Oh, really?
That's why he got mad.
So
Yeah, he's like, oh,
is he
shit.
like overly committed, like to not becoming a theist, or?
I think most atheists that go around doing debates are really committed to not being a theist.
Yeah, I agree. I think I think that's
like it's a big part of their personality at that point.
Right. Part of their identity, really. Like, oh nope, I can't be convinced. I can't even be pushed slightly closer to theism, even if it's still, a fucking, 12,000 miles closer to it. Yeah.
Huh.
Oh, here we go. From Iron
Yeah,
Charioteer.
I think atheists that make the point of like, oh, there's no evidence for the existence of God at all, are just like making a very bombastic and not very good claim.
Yeah. Well, I get to answer that question first. No, I'm not a Christian, and if you're trying to determine whether I'm a theist or an atheist, it really comes down to what definition you have for the word God.
Yeah, because I know the last time we talked, you talked about, if you define God as one who has power and is worshipped, then you could say that Trump or any popular, well, I say popular, but any given politician who has a support or fan base could be classified as God given that definition or something along those lines.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think if you use a definition of the word that includes usages like the Mesopotamians would have used, right? If you have a more universal definition of the word, everyone's a theist, because people like the leaders of North Korea exist, right? At that point, everyone would have to be a theist. They might not be your God, right? But they exist.
Yeah, I see what you mean there. You two are more than welcome to stay backstage, but I actually do have to end this. I don't think Mrs. Mania is very happy with me for ignoring her phone call and then returning the phone call.
Oh boy, you were in for some. Oh boy,
I gotta go down to the street, buy some flowers, maybe some roses and some candy, and maybe that'll smooth things over a little bit.
I want to give the opposite advice. You tell her that you're sorry that you missed the phone call, but you were worried that she was on her way home and you had to get the other woman out of the house. And then when she gets worked up, then you just smile and laugh.
That's what I will do. I will rewind the clip to play that part and say, this is the reason. Anyway. All right, everybody.
Have fun with that situation. Boy.
I'm not going to press any harder for fear of my own life. Anyways, I'm going to end this. Goodbye, everybody.